Let's go to Winnipeg now. Hustler Paterson. Connor Hellebuyck still a Jet? Huss, what time is it? What's the deal? Is the Hellebuyck watch on or what's going on?
You know what watch is on right now, Rod? The lightning delay at the Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest right now. The GOAT Joey Chestnut is having to wait, and he's hungry. This is not just your regular rain delay. Can you imagine that? But yeah, that's been keeping me
saving up for days.
Right
Yeah.
Connor Hellebuyck. Yeah, Connor Hellebuyck's still a Winnipeg Jet, and so is Mark Scheifele. I think overall last week was a real productive week for the Winnipeg Jets. I think what we learned a lot is about what the market is right now. And two very different markets. One is a market for goaltending. And I got to tell you, if I'm Ray Petkow, I wasn't too fired up when I saw Ilya Sorokin ink an 8-year extension at $8.25 million. I believe he's 4 years younger than Connor Hellebuyck. He was a finalist as well for the Vezina this year and actually finished ahead of Helly in the voting. That's not the comparable I think that his camp wanted if they're looking to get in excess of $9 million. And, you know, from talking to a lot of people in Nashville last week at the draft, the concern, listen, I don't have as much concern that the fact that he's going to be 31 years old when he comes in. The guy is a workhorse, never gets hurt. Listen, I think he's earned the benefit of the doubt and he's played at a high enough level that teams would be willing to take that chance. But when you add in the contractual commitment that teams are going to need to make to Connor Hellebuyck, it is a very tough decision. And there wasn't much of a market that emerged for him.
Yet. Right? Like, what are you reading into, and the Jets fans, that Wheeler's been bought out? Has he been designated as the problem, or is there more?
Well, I think there's more. I mean, to me, the thing that I think that they have to do, and this is not going to come as a surprise to you, I've said it before on this program, I've said it a million times on Winnipeg Sports Talk, I don't think they really move on from the previous culture until Blake Wheeler and Mark Scheifele are moved on. And listen, that's a tough decision. I mean, Scheifele's got one more year coming off a 42-goal season. And there really is a scarcity right now of center talent, as we saw in free agency. I've heard rumblings that the Boston Bruins, considering their situation, might make a run at Mark Scheifele, and I think that would be good for the Winnipeg Jets. Listen, Mark Scheifele is a great player, but I think the time has come for him to move on. I don't think he's the leader that this team needs. And I think the likes of Josh Morrissey and Adam Lowry need to be those alphas in the room, if you will, going forward. And I've also got concerned about Mark this year. I mean, if he was playing on a one-year deal, Rod, if we thought that he was selfish and not thinking about the team in the past, what's he going to be like in a year where his entire next contract is depending on how he's playing right now, points and whatnot? And I'll tell you what, I think if you pump some true serum into Rick Bowness, I think he would say the same thing. For the team, I think if you were going to have one of those guys come back next year and play into the season, I think it would be far better for the Winnipeg Jets if that guy was Connor Hellebuyck as opposed to Mark Scheifele. Although trading a Scheifele leaves a massive hole at the center ice position, which I don't underestimate as well. But to me, this is about building a team, changing this culture going forward. And I think putting it all on Blake Wheeler is not fair, to be honest with you. And he certainly had some help.
Yeah, for sure. But the thing is, you talk about the hole at the center position. I've been in this game a real long time, Huss, and if you had 20 all-star players, but they were all cancers, you're not winning anything. I'm not saying they necessarily are that, but where there's smoke, there's fire. And I'm not done on the Hellebuyck thing as a goalie guy here. With the drafting of Milic and the signing of a few others, including Laurent Brossoit, it just tells me that Hellebuyck's on his way out of town. So whatever the market is, it's going to happen by the end of the week, is it not?
Oh, I doubt it. I would bet no. I mean,
no?
Listen, would they like to happen? Well, I mean, I just don't think that there is an offer that, makes Kevin Cheveldayoff really consider it right now. I mean, they don't want to get rid of Connor Hellebuyck. They're, I think, sort of being forced into it by the fact that they reportedly have said that, he's looking to move on and not signing an extension with the Winnipeg Jets. Although I listened to Elliot Friedman this morning, and he said after the week that the team had, they want to let this breathe a little bit and maybe re-engage both of those. As I said, I think it would be a huge mistake to extend Mark Scheifele. Connor Hellebuyck, I'm sort of on the other side. I mean, he's the best player. Like, he's their best player. He's been the backbone of this franchise. To me, if there's an opportunity to keep your best player around long term, I would do it. I think that they may re-engage on that. Whether there's any interest or anything's changed, I'm not sure. I think there is an argument to be made, though. The best offer, money-wise, for Connor Hellebuyck might, in fact, be here with the Winnipeg Jets. And it'll be a very interesting situation to see. I mean, John Gibson's on the market as well, Rod. You saw Christian Jerry hang tight and sign that 5-year extension in Pittsburgh. Carolina brought both their goalies back. The one spot that we've heard that could be a nice fit that was interested is in New Jersey. But the fact that we went through all of draft week, the extensions that they gave to players and signings already, I'm not sure they're in a position to do that. So for folks that are Connor Hellebuyck fans, I think the likelihood that he could start the season with the Jets is increased. How it comes to an extension, I mean, it would need to be a significant reversal of fortunes, I guess, for the Jets if all of a sudden they were open to sticking around.
Well, maybe Hellebuyck. Maybe it's not all about the money, but I don't know the guy. Every player is different, though, and I think, people really get mesmerized by the money. Look at Gaudreau taking less money and going to a worse team just to get out of Calgary. You know what I mean? Like, it's not always about that. Who do you think is winning free agency, and does it matter this time of year?
Well, I'll tell you what, and as much as it pains me to say this, I think the Toronto Maple Leafs and Brad Treliving made out like here's the thing. They get Max Domi on, a $3 million deal or so, and Tyler Bertuzzi at $5.5 million. The thing why I like this so much for them, Rod, is that they were one-year deals. I mean, there's no bad one-year deal in the National Hockey League. If things don't work out, you can trade the guy, you can move on. It doesn't hamstring you in the cap moving forward. And I think for both of those players, especially Bertuzzi, who did have some multi-year deals available, but to teams that maybe he didn't want to play for. He gets to go in, play on a very good Toronto team, and next year the cap's going up significantly, and he'll be back in that free agent market. So I think Brad Treliving and the Toronto Maple Leafs did a very good job of taking advantage of flex their muscles a little bit, and they still got to get under the cap. But I thought those two additions were great because they're low risk, and I think both of those teams, considering what was on the market, will help them in a big way. And the other one's the Carolina Hurricanes. And we were often wondering, hey, maybe does Hellebuyck end up there? Well, they got both their goalies back, Freddie Anderson and Antti Ranta. But they got Dmitry Orlov, who arguably was the best player on the free agent board. He signed a big money deal, $7.75 million a year. But again, it's just 2 years. So, I mean, the thing that kills you, Rod, in these July 1 deals, was like Milan Lucic and Andrew Ladd and James Neal. I mean, they were signing 5, 6, 7-year deals. And often those deals look bad in year 2. That wasn't the case this year. The market's changed a little bit because of the cap only going up $1 million. But I thought those signings in particular of Toronto and Carolina were among the best.
Okay, but just celebrities in the crowd watching. Craig Campbell from the Hockey Hall of Fame says 8x8 for a goalie's too much. Hellebuyck as example, and I favor goalies. Always. Arlen Bruce is watching, and he says, Kansas City Chiefs all day. Good on you, hustler.
Yes.
There are more. Nelson says the Leafs and Pens are the front runners. We could talk about this all day. Huss, we'll let you go. Get ready for your show at 1 p.m. Central, right, buddy? Have a great week.
You got it already. Yeah, check us out. We'll talk lots more about the Jets signings in particular and where the team is right now. But Winnipeg Sports Talk on YouTube. Join us right after Hot Rod's finished the RP show. Thanks for having me, buddy. Oh, and hey, congratulations on your. I was just going to say congratulations on that upcoming gig. Looking forward to seeing how you guys do down there. It sounds real fun.
Can't wait. It's going to be awesome, buddy. Always up for new experiences. Thanks, Huss. I appreciate the support. I really do.